Alright guys, so Arc Raiders has a lot of different items and weapons, and it's kind of confusing getting to know which one to keep and which one to sell or recycle. So in this video, we're going to be going over the entire item list. We're also going to be going over all of the weapons and what each upgrade does, as well as different stats for each. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like and comment what you want to see next. So there are a lot of items in Arc Raiders, and you can find each of these in different areas marked throughout the map. So depending on the type of item that you're looking for, you can tell by the little symbol. It'll tell you exactly where you need to go for that item. But getting these items, a lot of times you just don't know what you're supposed to recycle, what you're supposed to sell, and what you need to keep to make sure that you're not falling behind on any of the upgrades. So this is an all-inclusive list on everything that you should be keeping. At the top, we have what you should be keeping for quests, for projects, and then underneath we have things that are safe to recycle to turn into other objects that you are going to need throughout the game. Then finally, we have the workshop upgrades and everything that you will need to get to level 3 on every bench. So a quick look at some of these workbench upgrades. For Scrappy, you're going to need a dog collar and some fruits. The cat bed is second, with the very comfortable pillow as third, along with some other fruits. You can find the fruits in nature areas depending on the map you're on. The other items can be found in residential areas. A lot of the other things can be found in general areas. Some of the things to highlight that are going to be tough to find in general are going to be the rusted gears, which have become one of the toughest and rarest items to find, as well as some of the drops from the big units like the Bastion, the Bombardier, and the Leaper. The quests will require a lot of different items, but here are some of the toughest ones to find, including stuff like the Power Rod, which is required to make some heavy shields, the Surveyor Vault, which is tough to get because you have to chase the bowling ball of death around, as well as some other blue drops from Arc. You are also going to need to keep a lot of items for your projects, which is the Expedition. The Expedition requires a lot of different items, including things like springs, durable cloth, and other things that you would typically use for crafting, but you're going to need to stock up on all these items to get the Expedition done. The final step of the Expedition also requires a few $100,000 of weapons, utility, and a few other things, so make sure you're stocking up on those as well. So as you all know, we can upgrade our weapons in this game, as well as adding attachments. The attachments give you buffs on each one based on the rarity that you have. However, upgrading your weapon gives you a flat buff that makes the weapon way stronger. This is a list of every weapon at its maximum tier and some of the stats that come along with them. So we have a lot of different types of stats here. We have effective DPS and cyclic DPS with the description of what each one is at the bottom, as well as the damage, fire rate, mag size, and reload time of each weapon. We also have the mag dump time, damage per mag, and then the effective time to kill against a shield type of a medium. You'll notice a lot of the automatic weapons and SMGs have a very fast time to kill if you're hitting all body or headshots, but some of these need to be taken with a grain of salt, like the time to kill stat for things like the Pharaoh, because you have to remember if you're just shooting them with the Pharaoh, it's going to take forever, but that gun is more of a swap gun, so you shoot that first and then swap to your other gun. An interesting stat to look at are some of the different time to kills between different rarities. For example, the Bobcat is a purple SMG and has a 1.2 second time to kill to the body and a 0.47 time to kill to the head, whereas the common Stitcher has a time to kill of 1.61 with a headshot time to kill of 0.63. So it is a bit slower, but not by much, considering that Stitcher is a common gun and you can make it and craft it and level it with only metal parts and mechanical components. When we look at cyclic DPS, you can see that some of the highest DPS weapons in the game are guns like the Venator and the Torrent. The Venator is up at 104.9 cyclic DPS and the Torrent is at 106.9. These blue weapons give you a lot of value when compared to the Epic. The effective DPS on a lot of these guns will scale based on rarity, but the cyclic DPS shows you what you can do with one mag, which is why guns like the Venator have become so meta right now. The other columns also give you a lot of important information like damage, fire rate, mag size, reload time, mag dump time, damage per mag, as well as we have shots to kill in the final column to pair with those as well. A good combo is to open up with something that shoots slowly but does a lot of chunk damage like the Pharaoh, and then swapping to something with very high cyclic DPS like the SMGs, the Venator, or anything that can finish them off after they've taken that big hit. Arc Raiders is going to be one of the main contenders for Game of the Year, and here are some of the things to expect coming soon. The roadmap shows new map conditions, feats and trials, and cosmetics, as well as a new map, community unlock event, and a new arc called the Matriarch and Shredder. The Queen is the largest elite enemy that we can fight so far, so it's amazing to think what more could be possible next. In December, we have a lot of new things as well as new map conditions, expedition departure window changes, new raider decks, and new quests. What are your favorite things about Arc so far, and what do you want to see next?